Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Friday Night Access. Joining us, as usual, are our hosts, Nick Gibson and Garrison Brown. Join us as they give their usual progress updates when we speak of very sexy topics, like how Activision sucks, how asset flips suck more, and also why the fuck can't Quake 2 run with a decent frame rate on a modern graphics card. I am your host.
With a big fat asterisk in there.
God damn it! You broke my streak. You did. God damn you for
Wait.
all the things of hell. Oh my god! You caught me off guard with that one.
Wait.
So,
well, I
anyway.
figured we should probably clarify that because it sounds super duper clickbaity. We don't mean basic Quake 2 on the modern latest edge stuff. We're talking
talking the tracing of rays.
Yeah, we're talking the RTX stuff. But anyways, continue.
Yes, he will. He has a rant locked, loaded, and ready, and I'm just gonna take some cover and let him just spray everywhere. He has to clean it up afterwards, so I don't care.
It's just a tiny little rant, just a little bitty one.
Just a tiny little one that'll explode into a gargantuan Godzilla attack, to which everyone will be like, "What?"
So, anyways, what's first on the agenda?
First we need to tell the people who we are. I am Nick Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
And who are you?
Nah, I don't know. I'm some doofus that comes here every week.
Yeah, does this doofus have a name?
Nope. I'm kidding. I'm Garrison. I'm the dude doing the coloring work for Project Axis.
Yes, he's the most colorful person in my roster.
Yep, and I'm the co-host of the show.
Yes, he is. He is a person with the persons.
Yes, I do person things.
Yes, that is good because I don't hire robots. I buy them.
Are you sure about that, sir?
Yes, I am sure. Now shut the fuck up.
Never.
Uh-oh, he's breaking down. Better get out the lube.
Not enough RAM. I need to download more.
Must download more episodes of The Office. My basic programming is almost.
Almost. Anything.
Okay. That was fun. So first on our docket is the usual progress report. Garrison, how progressive have you been?
I've been very, very unprogressive, but no, in reality,
you racist Trump. Oh, never mind.
Whoa, hold on a second there. Let's not.
Yeah, let's wind it back. Yeah.
Okay, so with the page 4, I haven't started on it yet, but instead, what I've done is we've taken the feedback that we've gotten from our finished page 1, and I've edited it a little bit so it actually looks better because we've gotten feedback that page 1, the desert colors looked fairly bleached and washed out, and looking back on it, they're right. So we changed that, and it looks vibrant and golden. It looks much, much better now. I intend on giving that same treatment to the other 2 pages, just make sure of it. But I will be starting on page 4 very soon.
Yes, he had started on page 2, but I had to drag him kicking and screaming off of it so we can actually get the book done. All right, yeah, we'll do some tweaks after it's all done. But I just want to get it done so the letterer can do his job. I mean, don't get me wrong. Page 2 looks really good. He actually showed. What are you thinking about? Did someone comment?
What was that?
We have a comment?
No. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, but page 2 looks really good. Garrison actually showed me his update. It looks really nice. But I just want to avoid a cycle of endless tweaking.
Yeah.
Because if we keep tweaking pages 1 through 3, nothing will get done. I'd rather just do page 4 and then on with the rest of it, and then afterwards do the tweaks.
So next up, working on page 4.
Yes.
We should see a beautiful work in progress of it on Work in Progress Wednesday.
Yes. I hope you just go for it.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Nick?
I'm feeling heartbroken because you did acknowledge that mad pun I just dropped.
I acknowledge no puns.
You acknowledge all of them and like it.
But anyways, what about you, Nick?
I have been cracking the whip like no one's business. I missed my calling. I should have been a dominatrix.
Yeah, I have the marks on myself to prove it.
Yes. I whipped it, and I whipped it good.
Ugh.
Like I know I should. I cracked that whip.
Okay.
Alright, any more and this is getting taken down.
Yeah. We need to be careful with that.
Yes. I'm not quite the diva I wish I was.
Spares Twitch senpai?
What?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I say nothing.
You better say something. I don't want to be the only person talking.
Quack.
Back like a duck.
Does that work?
Woof.
Okay, no, for real though. What's first on the agenda?
Well, we just took care of the first thing on the agenda.
Okay, what's second thing on the agenda?
Sexy topic.
Oh, are we talking about the acid flip stuff?
We are, but that's next on but first we must talk about how much Activision sucks ass. Yes!
Gotcha. So I'll let you go ahead and explain that one.
All right. Thank you for handing me the invisible ball that says you may speak now, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Toss that to the side. So, recently Activision released the remake of Crash Team Racing. So Crash Bandicoot is a character who is most well known from his output in the late 90s on the Sony PlayStation. Those of a particular vintage, which myself am one of them. In other words, I'm old.
Agreed.
Are you're not supposed to agree with me on that. Whatever happens to making your boss look good? Whatever. You're fired.
Oh,
And you're rehired.
okay.
I rehired you at a much lower rate.
What?
Capitalism!
Man, capitalism's a bitch.
Yeah, it is. At least she fucks good.
So, yeah, Crash.
Yes, Crash Bandicoot. Okay, getting back onto the track.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the games released that's beloved is Crash Team Racing. It's basically a Mario Kart clone, but a really damn good one. And it's released for Sony PlayStation. Really good. I actually own a copy. Crash Team Racing is actually one of my favorite games of all time. So Activision recently released the Crash Insane trilogy, which was a remake of the first three games by developer Naughty Dog, which is most well known for currently for games like Uncharted and Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so they released this remake. I have it for Switch. It's actually really good. And Activision being the like, hey, we release these games, people like them. What about that other kart racing game that people like? Hey, let's remake that too. So they released Crash Nitro Kart. Now, originally when they released it, you know, it was basically a combination of Crash Team Racing and Crash Nitro Kart, which was a game released during the PS2 era, which is, from what I've been told, decent. But the thing is, there was no microtransactions originally. Except now, like a month or so after it's been released, they added microtransactions.
Yeah. Biggest question here is just kind of why?
My theory is that because the thing is, any like media property, most of your sales come from like the first month. You know, like the first month you release a game, a movie, or something. Most of your sales are during that first 4 to 6 weeks. So probably, and this is not the first time Activision's done something like this, but I'll get to that in a second. Probably what they do is, you know, since microtransactions and the whole loot box controversy, kind of a dirty word among fans right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the industry loves their microtransactions because it prints money. And they can all swim in that Scrooge McDuck style. Little do they know that Family Guy proved what would actually happen.
Ugh, that scene.
Yeah, it's brutal, but it's kind of an eye opener. Like I can kind of see like if it was all like paper currency, Like if you had like a bunch of densely packed paper currency, maybe you could make it work with like Swing Scrooge McDuck style. But coins, that's just basically just falling onto a heavy floor.
Basically, yeah.
Ugh. If you want to swim in money, get paper currency.
Or find some way to make a liquid currency without like melting yourself.
Oh, you
because
mean
you're
like
swimming in
alcohol?
molten copper. What? That's not liquid currency.
I guess you've never lived in a. Haven't you seen sci-fi shows where like when money goes and they start doing the barter system, the most valuable thing instantly becomes alcohol?
I've seen it happen with like bottle caps and stuff that's really hard to replicate.
Quit
but-
playing Fallout.
Well, no, like just basically items that are hard to replicate. Like those
Well, the
kind of
thing
get
is,
turned into currency.
in the absence of money, the barter system reigns supreme. You know, barter system is basically like, hey, I have this thing. Oh, I have this different thing that has a similar value. Let's trade.
Basic trade.
It's not an exact science. Like, for example, let's say a plane crashes and everyone hoards a bunch of resources. Let's say someone needs penicillin, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you go to the people with the medicine, and they're like, oh, you have penicillin? All right. I hear you got the last Crown Royal. I'll trade you that Crown Royal for this penicillin. And that's how you do it. It's very much kind of like, and it's not kind of like a 1-1 thing, like, and it's what's in demand at the time. Like
Yeah.
the barter system is more effective by supply and demand than anything else. And there's your economics lesson for the day, kids.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum.
I was gonna do the more you know. Ding.
Okay, but anyways, back on topic.
Yes, let's get back on track.
You made that pun twice in a row. No, I'm not.
Yes,
giving,
I know.
I'm not
terrible
giving
like
you that one. No, get out of here. Okay.
Okay,
but,
fine. I'll leave the call.
Okay, but like the biggest thing is this is a game that you pay money for up front, correct?
Yeah. In this case, about $40.
Okay. Now, and before we go any further, are we talking microtransactions as in it has DLC similar to like what Mario Kart had or Hyrule Warriors?
I'm not
or
sure
is
on the details, and I do realize that like the devil's in the details for this. Like, a lot of it depends on like what they're selling.
Yeah, and also
I-
like, was it day one type of microtransaction DLC, or was it like a few
No,
months
they added
later
it in
they
only
added
like the last few days.
Okay, and that's how much later after the game's release, roughly?
I think it came out like July, so about roughly a month later, maybe 2 months.
I
It's-
think that's still a little too soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think a better example would be another Activision game. I think like the last Call of Duty. So full price game, like $60. Okay, you get a campaign and multiplayer, and Activision opened a cash shop for microtransactions. You want to know how egregious it got?
How bad?
You could pay $3 for a red dot.
I'm sorry, what?
A red dot. Something anyone could make in 2 seconds. In paint.
Wait, are we talking like a red dot on your gun, or what? What is this?
I think it's like a sight or something, like laser sight or something. It's something very low. I mean, any way you slice it, it's very low effort on the developer part.
Yeah, basically something I could make out of a quick little PNG file.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's this laser sight, it's basically just tweaking colors.
Huh.
Like literally, it's like slider, 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 like an RGB slider, and they're like, "Oh, hey, I just all I did was move around a slider 3 times, and I came up with 3 things to sell for $3 each."
Yeah, but like, aren't laser sights just kind of supposed to be part of the normal game? Why are we paying extra for that?
I mean, they probably do have laser sights, but it's different colors.
Different colors of laser sight.
It's see, this is why I don't really like the whole cosmetic microtransactions are okay, because they can get just as egregious as anything else.
Yeah.
Because the problem you have with a lot of video game companies nowadays is that, if it was just like paying $2 for like a skin that didn't affect gameplay, that'd be one thing. I mean, like if that's all it was cosmetics, it wouldn't be that much of a debate. But then you have stuff like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't know if you heard this debate. It's actually partial.
Excuse me.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the latest Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
Pretty good from what I hear. I have a friend of mine named Karen that really likes it. Shout out to Karen if you hear it. You're awesome. But anyway, so they have a cash shop where they sell XP potions. Because Assassin's Creed kind of has like a level up system. It's kind of like got some RPG elements. The thing is, there's sections of the game where you have to grind a lot, in which it kind of incentivizes you to buy the XP potions. And that's kind of where we're at, is where the games are designed to push you into these microtransactions. Because, you can beat this game without spending a single dollar. Well, technically correct. What they don't mention is that, you can beat it, but you have to spend $2,000, 2,000 hours of grinding just to get there.
Yeah, and and I know you said that you're not. Wait, no, I was confusing my own words there. But with the whole cosmetic microtransaction thing, that's where I'm still League of Legends still does it really, really well, because not only is it one of those, you cannot pay for power in any way, and the game itself is really freakishly well balanced.
See, that's where microtransactions are done right, where it's an option. But the problem we have nowadays is lots of games are being designed to incentivize you purchasing, and that's what feels scummy. If it was you play a fighting game and you just you pay $2 for a costume, I mean that's no big deal.
Yeah.
Or you have a main in League of Legends, and you want to look different. Okay, that's whatever. It's not like no one's forcing you to buy it. Not the game developers, not other people. It's like.
Yeah, and the effort they're putting into these skins is actually freakishly good, just amazingly good.
Yeah, and it's kind of Yeah. So other examples. So it's the Assassin's Creed Odyssey example. So they recently came out with a quest designer, to where you can kind of design your own in-game quests. People were creating XP farm quests, basically quests designed to easily grant you XP. Right. Pretty cool. Ubisoft disabled them. It basically prevented you from making those types of quests. If the XP potions were truly optional, why do you need to stop people from downloading optional quests that fans create to help you XP farm if they're truly optional?
Well, I'm sorry, hold on. This was for which game again?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
An argument could be made that it's to keep the balance of the game, but it sounds like the balance of the game.
It's a single player game, though. There is no such thing as balance. It's whatever the player. I mean, if this was a multiplayer game, for example, an MMO, I could possibly believe it. But this is a single player game, and honestly, there is no such thing as balance in a single player game. It's that concept only exists in multiplayer.
Well, no, there are definitely some single player games that are just straight up out of balance. But
the thing is, half the fun is how broken a game is. For example, Skyrim. You can break that game so easily in so many different ways. So many ways. You don't even have to do cheats or anything. Just abuse the game systems. And that's half the fun of Skyrim, is breaking the game. Or Final Fantasy VIII. You can break that game from hour one to the point where you one-shot everything. You have to put a lot of effort into it, but it can be done. So my argument is, give people the option to break the game if they want. Because
that makes more sense.
Yeah, like if like, because I feel like in a single player game, it's up to the player to play how they want. That's why we have like these custom runs of games, like for example, like a Nuzlocke run in Pokemon, or like a knife only run in like a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
It's because that's the glory of single player games. You play them how you want. I mean, that's the whole ethos of open world games like Skyrim. You play the game how you want. That's why people love those games, because they can do whatever the heck they want. I mean, I understand the need for balancing in multiplayer because there's other people in the equation. Like, sure. And the thing is, these creator quests, it was your choice to download them and put them in your game. So no one was forcing you to put these XP grinds and XP quests in your game. And if the XP potions were truly there for people if they wanted them, why is Ubisoft kicking them out in the name of balance? It kind of rings hollow in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, there could theoretically be an argument.
Theoretically, yes.
But in reality, we know what it really is.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, I hear what you're saying, but we all know what you're doing. Like a lot of these games are just like monetizing the heck out of it. Like I'm a big World of Warcraft player, and one of the bigger problems of World of Warcraft currently is so in World of Warcraft, mounts are kind of like the way you show off. Like if you have some like the cooler, rarer mounts or like prettier mounts, you look more prestigious, because like mounts are how you get through the game quickly. So like you show up to Raid Night with a cool mount, you make a good entrance. And you can get mounts in the game. That's not it. I mean, they're tough to farm. Trust me. I took me over a year and a half to get Ashes of Alar. I was so happy when that dropped. Oh, sorry, gearing off balance. But you can buy pets and mounts in the game, and the problem is that these mounts look a lot nicer than anything else you can get in game. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of like if you feel kind of gypped. Like, to get the really, really nice mounts, you have to pay money. I mean, like, yeah, we're kind of reaching into optional territory, but still,
Yep. Does the stuff in game though look bad? Does it look like just objectively bad, or bad compared?
It looks
to the
not
stuff?
as good. That's the best way to say it. Like, it looks. I mean, a lot of the mounts look really good, but the mounts in the store look objectively better.
Yeah, because like I think really the key thing when you're talking, especially for multiplayer stuff, is without the payments, or really any game for that matter, without the payment stuff, is the game solid by itself. That's why I like Hyrule Warriors for the Switch and the Wii U. Like,
I need to get that game. I need to get that game.
Yeah, that actually does have some DLC or microtransactions, however you want to word it. But the game by itself, without those, is solid and fulfilling.
I played the 3DS version. It's really good. I need to get that for Switch.
Yeah, and it's just like, and if you wanted even more past what it offered, which was already plenty.
Like Bethesda used to be like the best people for DLC, like DLC for Skyrim and like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Like, they were just basically doing expansion packs, digital expansion packs. Like, that's really why like the fall of Bethesda just hurts really hard, because they used to be like one of the few good companies. Like they used to have ethical DLC where it's like, oh hey, we released every time we like, oh hey, we released a new Elder Scrolls game. Oh, wouldn't you know, it's feature packed and it's one of the best games ever made. Yay us. Oh, by the way, we're releasing 3 feature packed DLCs that add to the game.
Yeah, when the vanilla game by itself is already like amazing.
Yeah,
massive.
Like if you look at the Fallout, like Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4, Skyrim, the vanilla games on their own are amazing, and the DLCs just kind of add to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it should be. But then there's stuff
exactly.
But then there's stuff like what was it? I have a friend of mine who got me into playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 recently.
I heard that game was actually pretty good because they kind of stuck to their word and they didn't like add back in the bad
Uh,
microtransactions.
um,
Am I wrong?
are you talking from the first game or are you talking from their launch?
From the second game.
Okay, that wasn't either of the options I presented to you.
All right. What are the options again?
From the first game or
You
from
mean
their
Battlefront 1?
launch? Yeah.
From the launch of the second one.
Um,
Because I remember
yes
the Battlefront
and
2 controversy. I remember it.
okay, good. I want to make sure that's
Yeah, I know all the details. Trust me.
okay.
The
But
star cards and the very blatant pay to win aspects, and like the
yeah.
the pride and accomplishment post on Reddit, which became like one of the most down like didn't it become like the most downvoted comment, one of them anyway, in Reddit history.
I don't know. I'm not a redditor, but like
I'm kind of a Redditor, but yeah.
yeah, but you remember how there was literally a thing you could get from like money that's like your team wins the match if you use this. Literally. That's what
I
it
never
did.
heard about that, but given EA, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that was an actual item that you could get. And I'm not saying like, oh, it was so powerful it could do this. No, it literally in the description said your team wins this match.
That is literally the most literal description of pay to win. Like, literally, you could not get a more literal description of paying for an item that says you win. You are
Okay.
literally paying to
Okay,
win.
hold on though. So I should clarify. From my time playing it recently, I haven't seen that pop up. I think that's something they got rid of. But the thing is, I could still feel that like it. I could still feel that it by itself doesn't necessarily seem like
Well, the game
a
was designed around that
full game.
microtransaction system.
Yeah, because like,
And
I tried
and they ripped it out at the last minute, and so like you can't really like you can strip a branch from every trunk in the tree. It doesn't change what the tree actually is.
Oh yeah, and like so I played I started with a tutorial level because frankly, I'm not a first person shooter kind of guy. It's
I
normally
kind of
my
want to
cup of
just
tea.
play it just for the campaign because the campaign seems interesting.
I haven't gotten to the campaign. I mostly played multiplayer with my friend that got me into it.
Mm-hmm.
I played the tutorial level, okay? So I want you to get this. So I start off in the tutorial level, right? I'm like, okay. One, it takes 3 headshots on an enemy basic soldier to bring him down.
Headshots.
3 actual point blank
The
headshots.
frick? Wait. Headphone out. Headphone out. Sorry. All right, I'm back.
Yeah, 3 actual point blank headshots on a basic enemy in the tutorial level.
I mean, I can understand like if it was like a heavily armored enemy taking
Nope.
that many, but like on a basic, it's like, come
Yeah.
on.
Basic grunt foot soldier type enemy. And so it doesn't stop there though. So, me and my team, we were going through the hall. Again, this is the tutorial level. And like I said, I'm not a huge Star Wars person, so I don't know the uniforms and all that. So I'm just kind of going off of who my guys are shooting at, right? And
All right.
all my squad members, they're all shooting down this hallway. I'm like, oh, okay, so they're over there. And this is like a T-junction kind of hallway, right? We're at the flat part, aiming down the neck of it. And,
So you're in the flat part aiming down the neck of it, you said?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got this in my head right now.
Okay, yeah. And I look over to the right, where our hallway continued, and there's a bunch of soldiers there too, but like, my team was ignoring and they were ignoring me. So I was like, oh, okay, they must be friendlies. I look down the hall, I look down the same hall everyone's shooting at, and I try looking at people, and then I start getting shot from the side, and it turns out that entire squad of soldiers there were actually enemy soldiers, and every single AI in that area just ignored them completely.
What?
Yeah, like they all just kind of completely ignored them. And I was having
Tell
to
me again why Disney thought shuttering Lucasfilm was a good idea again.
Yeah. Oh, and I was having a bit of that same issue that I had in Battlefield 4, where like enemies would kind of spawn in rooms that I've cleared out and like have secured. I was getting a bit of
Yeah,
that same thing as well. Like they would just kind of pop out of areas that I literally just checked and just made sure that there was nothing there.
yeah.
And like and then there was still the loot crates you could do, or excuse me, the surprise mechanics that literally say like this thing says, okay, this you have a grenade that's more powerful. This your reload time is cut down and stuff like that.
Yeah, the problem with Battlefront 2 is progression system was tied to microtransactions. That's way, way too far.
Yeah, honestly, the most fun I had in that game was in the Ewok mode because it was great.
Sniping Ewoks.
Yeah, it was just a hunter versus prey game. It was easy to pick up and it was so much fun. I had much more fun
Yeah.
with that than like any of the actual game.
Yeah, I can imagine. I bet.
To sum that up, I could feel that the game was made around those microtransactions,
Mm,
not the game itself is solid, and then there also happens to be this.
yeah. Yeah, I bet.
We probably rambled on about microtransactions long enough, haven't we?
Yeah, let's flip things around. Let's flip it around. Let's flip things around.
Oh, you're talking about the asset flip stuff?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I want to be an asset to this podcast.
Yeah, best finish up those puns before I flip you.
Oh, that sounds fun. I like flying through the air at the greatest of ease.
Just yeet you out of here.
Yeet, yeet, yeet.
Oh my god, that was the geekiest thing I've ever heard you say. It was great. Okay.
At least you aren't Naruto running into Area 51.
I would pay money to watch that happen.
I would pay lots of money to watch that. Like honestly, if I had money that day, I'd just go there, put up a lawn chair, and just watch what happened. Like I just want to be there
Yeah.
when it went down, just to see it happen, just see what
Yeah,
happened.
there's like the mob trying to storm it, and then like if they come up to you, just like, whoa, I don't plan on moving from this spot. You have fun with them. I just want to see what happens.
Yeah, and then like all of a sudden you start hearing artillery shell, and you'd be like, "Oh dear lord, I think it just got serious."
Yeah, but anyways, like back on topic. So, so you guys know when you go onto like the Steam store and you see this game that's clearly got, how shall we say, no effort put into it.
It has some effort. They gotta put it. They put in jiggle physics.
Okay, that's a specific breed of them that I'm going to talk about. But like basically what we're talking about is a lot of times you'll have quote game developers that literally just buy a bunch of assets off the Unity store.
You use that in the loosest definition possible.
I do. And they literally just buy a bunch of assets off the Unity store and they mash it together in kind of a game and
Kind
then
of.
sell it on Steam for like $1 or something. And this is where like people who are familiar with the again quote company Digital Homicide, that's pretty much everything they did. Um, and and I know this is kind of slightly older news. Uh, so you know how Steam had allowed adult content onto their store.
Yes, they finally let the boobies out.
Yeah, they finally let the boobs out. So immediately the store got flooded with
Well, core Rule 34.
no. So it's like immediately the store got flooded with patches for like the visual novels. We're talking like Nekopara stuff like that to basically unlock their adult content.
Unlock the boobies.
And then you had a flood of these asset flip, worthless trash games that are just boob bait. That's all they are. They're like, and honestly, some of them are pretty expensive too. Like I can't even say they're
Could
like
you
$1 or
also call
something.
them titty traps?
Yeah, easily. Like titty
Like
traps.
they, like sometimes I just put a pretty like a a badly rendered CG girl on the cover. I didn't know this was 1980, but whatever. And you buy the game, and that girl is not even in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, like the girl would be in there. It's just
What is this, YouTube circa 2007?
okay. Anyways,
That's an old joke. That is
yeah,
that joke.
that's
is,
a little before my time.
Okay. Let me explain. So back in my day, back before the days of the LPs and the PPers and the Keekers, and I'm just making shit up now. When you wanted to attract attention, you used a pair of boobs or a interesting title, and it did the job. But sometimes you click on it, be like, "Those are nice pair of boobs," and you wouldn't see those boobs anywhere. You'd be like, "Where are the boobs?" And that's when you knew you've been had.
So modern YouTube.
Oh my god! Did I really just do that?
Yeah, so modern YouTube then.
No, it was worse. Like, literally, half the videos you saw were just a woman's cleavage. Or there'd be scantily clad on the thumbnail. It would be badly taken. You click on it, and that's when you know they tricked you. Oh my god!
But anyways,
oh my god! Oh my god! That's
anyways,
just like,
okay, I'm gonna bring it back on topic now.
I'm having way too much fun with that voice. I apologize.
You're good. You're good. Yeah. So basically, it got flooded with these worthless types of games, and what
They do
bugs,
have some worth. They're worth $1.
they're not even worth $1. I've seen better free games. But anyways, so
Not every game has to be Undertale.
Undertale isn't a free game. What?
No, but like if you judge every game by the standards of Undertale, you're gonna be disappointed.
Then how else will we strive for greatness?
Just because Undertale is the greatest game of all time, and the greatest game that will ever exist,
One of.
according to you.
Not the one of.
Oh, humble, I see.
Yes, very. But no, what's bugging me is that these games are still being released. Just
Because
like
A
yesterday.
fool is born every day.
Hold on, Nick, shut up.
No!
Okay, so like just I think it was yesterday or the day before we were in a call just, talking, and I looked on Steam and there was like 3 or 4 more of these games under the new releases. Who is out there still buying these? Please stop it.
Stupid people.
Like, please stop it. There's better free porn on the internet. There's better free porn games.
www.pornhub.com.
Okay, whoa, hold on.
www.xvideos.com.
No.
Sorry, headphones out.
I think we could actually get in trouble for that, so don't. But
Oh, okay. Sorry, never
Yeah,
mind.
'cause,
Please
like-
don't sue me.
yeah, because they might consider that like, hey, here is where you go to find said content, so we can't be specific with it. But you can go to websites like that. I'm sure
There is a
there are-
website called Google that you can use to find whatever you want.
Exactly, literally Google, and you'll find
Google
stuff that's of
Google
much more
boobs and
substance.
video, and you'll find everything you desire.
Yeah, there's much better things elsewhere. Please don't. Please stop supporting these developers that are just asset flipping these worthless games. And there's a market for it if it's still going.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the great determiner, anyway. I mean, you know what they say: the internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. Have you heard that song?
Honking me horn.
Grab your dick and double click for porn, porn, porn.
Okay, that's enough talking about porn.
Yeah, this is that it kind of took a weird turn.
Yeah,
We entered the
said
weird
my
part of
rant.
YouTube for a moment. I apologize.
I said my rant. Let's continue on.
Well, actually, you're about to enter a whole nother dimension of ranting.
Oh, are we?
Yes. I'm just going to say it. RTX.
Okay. Now, like I promised at the beginning, this one's kind of a mini rant, and
Bring the fire.
No, it's a mini one. It's a mini one.
No, make it Mega Rant.
No. So
Mm.
basically, and again, this is kind of old news, but something that I've like actually put my hands on recently. And so, as most people know, the ray tracing stuff they were doing with the RTX graphics cards, right? And then they released the patch to make it so that way your GTX cards, we're talking like the 1660 Ti, the 1080, the blah 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 blah, all those guys. You
The
could,
Titan.
yeah. Well, there's a bunch of different Titans, but yeah, the Titans, stuff like that. Those could actually do ray tracing, just not as well as the RTX cards. And I'm sitting here with a
It's
10.
almost like the RTX was made to do ray tracing.
Yeah, I know, obviously. But I'm sitting here with a 1080 Ti in my computer, okay? In
Pretty
terms
good
of
graphics card.
yeah, in terms of consumer cards anyways, under like without looking at the RTX stuff, it's about the best you can get from Nvidia. Like I said,
You
from consumer level stuff,
I
not
am super jealous, but I'm also happy for you.
yeah, but anyways, so I looked and went, okay, well, yeah, I'm sure I'm taking more of a performance hit than the RTX cards are, so how bad could it really be, though? This
It
is
was
literally the
bad.
best you could do. And so I booted up Quake 2, the demo they did for the RTX stuff, right?
Yes, and by the way, you might want to explain exactly what Quake 2 is, because some people weren't even born when the game came out, and I feel old now.
Okay, yeah, it's that type of game. It's the type of game where the amount of polygons you'll see in a single arm would be in the single digits. Like, you could physically see all of the triangles, and they make up a really large portion of the character. This is
Like,
not a
basically, if you
diminutive.
were to take all the polygons in the entire game, it still would not match the amount of polygons in a single character model in a modern game.
It wouldn't no, it wouldn't even be as many polygons as that character's butt cheek from a modern game.
If it
Like,
was a Japanese game, that's for sure.
yeah, that's how old this game is. It's like a 20-year-old game, isn't it?
But still really good.
Yeah. So, would you like to know how many frames per second I got without ray tracing enabled?
Please tell me. I really would like to know. I totally do not know.
Okay. Well, for everyone else, I got 1,000 frames per second at 1440p without ray
Wow,
tracing enabled.
it's almost like
Yeah, it's
you're
almost like
using
it's a
a video
20-year-old
card
game.
that is like 100 times better than anything it was supposed to be for. That
I know,
sounds
right?
that sounds like what you expect.
Yeah, but would you like to know what my frame rate was when I enabled ray tracing? 8.
7 frames per second.
8 frames per second. Now, granted, I was able to go
Wow.
back into the settings and basically disable most of the ray tracing features. Would you like to know my
But
frame
is
rate at
that
that
but
point?
all right?
23.
So basically, you made it so that it's like barely even ray tracing at all, and it's still you're getting 23 frames per second.
Yeah, 23 frames per second at the best with like almost nothing enabled. We're talking
And you're
enable
using one of the
one
best
thing.
video cards you can get today to run literally a
Well,
25
hold on, hold on.
game.
One of the best GTX cards. We do have to be specific about it.
But still one of the top tier cards you can get today.
Yeah, and it's still running like nothing. It's just total garbage.
Someone needs to hire an optimizer because it must be some
Well,
hella spaghetti code.
well, granted, I mean, like, yeah, it could probably use a lot of optimization, but the point is like, why enable it at that point? You literally can't
Yeah,
use it for anything.
you can use it to take screenshots and brag.
I would even argue you couldn't use it to take screenshots
Why?
because, like, with the 8 frames per second and whatnot, it doesn't just do that. It affects a lot of other stuff happening on the computer too. Like the audio in it was the entire time.
Ew.
The audio in it was worthless. You couldn't navigate the menus to save your life because even in menu, it was running at 8 frames per second.
So if someone put a gun to your head and said navigate the menus, you'd be screwed.
I wouldn't be screwed, but it would take me a solid 20 minutes to change a setting.
Let's hope they don't get impatient.
I know, right? So so it's looking like the whole thing was pretty much just NVIDIA saying, okay, look, here's the actual value in the RTX cards, but like, that's still a really, really big performance hit. I mean, like, I'm happy that the RTX cards are able to kind of do it, but even then, like the 2060, I've looked at some of the benchmarks on that because the 2060 technically can do ray tracing. It is an RTX card after all, but it's the lowest tier RTX card you can get. It's more like it's more the average card, right? But in that lineup,
Mm-hmm.
and even then, you really can't do anything ray tracing wise on there because the card itself just isn't strong enough to keep a steady frame rate. You could
Mm.
kind of do it with the 2070, but realistically, if you wanted to do it, you were getting a 2080 or ideally a 2080 Ti. And the 2080 Ti, at the time, anyways, when I was originally looking at it, was a $1,200 graphics card. And what are they going for nowadays? Let me look at that. Let's see, 2080 Ti. Let's see, we have an EVGA 2080 Ti, 1250, 1200. Oh, this one's a steal. It's at 1100.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's quite the bargain.
I know, right? Oh, hey,
For the
a
price of a
Founders
kidney,
Edition.
you can buy a video card.
Yeah, Founders Edition 1200. Yeah, so it's still it's still a ridiculously expensive video card. Like, so how long do you think it'll take until this thing's actually somewhat affordable or like it's
Probably
actually
a couple
reasonable?
years,
Um,
maybe 2 years.
I don't know. 2 years is not that much time.
Mm.
I don't know. For technology like that, I think it'll take way longer. But then on the other hand, do we even actually need it? Because like they would do
Because
this.
the thing is, we've been running into the wall. We've long since reached the point of diminishing returns for processing power.
True, true.
Like, why do you think when it comes to like CPUs, they haven't really been empathizing? Like, they haven't really been bragging about CPU. Like, it's mostly been about like GPU performance. And even then, we're kind of still hitting a brick wall when it comes to CPU GPU performance. Um, really, have we really like in terms of like just bare base numbers, optimization aside, have we really advanced that much? Because like, Moore's law states like I think it's like every 16 months processing power doubles, and I think like we've long since like passed Moore's law, especially for CPUs, because like CPUs have been like sitting at like 3-4 gigahertz honestly for almost 15 years now.
To be fair though, they have gotten to the point where you could overclock it to like 5 or 5.2 gigahertz.
Yeah, but still, it's still kind of just a result of the optimization we've been doing.
Yeah, a result of the optimization, but they have been bragging about CPU performance, just like not as much as graphics cards
Yeah,
because
it's shifted from like the overall performance to like a per core performance, and also like the number of cores, number of processes, and whatnot. But like even when it comes to like multiple cores, we've already kind of reached a brick wall with that. Like that's why like I think like 7 nanometer is starting to become like what they're trying to go for. I don't know what it means, but I know like that term's been thrown around a lot recently.
oh, that's literally just the size of the transistors in there. Like
So
it's
basically, smaller transistors. The thing
yeah,
is,
it makes it more
um,
power efficient and allows you to fit more computing power.
but the thing is, like, you also have to deal with physics. Heat and space and electricity and one thing, and like we're still struggling to kind of work with it. Like, I'm sure 7 nanometer will probably open up a lot of doors, but at the end of the day, it's still
Well,
the days.
the 7 nanometer is only really something that AMD's been doing right now. That's like their big flagship thing with the new generation of Ryzen processors is their new this process, which makes it more power efficient, which makes it like it just makes it an overall better CPU.
Yeah, I know. Like AMD's GPUs have been doing good, but like for like gaming, Nvidia is still better. But for like production and overall, AMD, from what I hear, is better.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. That's the way it's been for a little while now, except for the GPU stuff. For the GPU stuff, it's still been like, you know, AMD is cheaper and it's good performance for the money, but like there's a lot of trade-offs there. But in
Yeah,
processors, yeah,
I
that's
have an
definitely true.
AMD video card in my PC, and I really don't like it because like it always has these errors, and like if you ever notice like with PC games, whenever there's an error with video cards, it's always because like AMD, because like games for PC are designed with NVIDIA graphics cards in mind. I mean, I know they're using similar thing, but like they're two different video card companies. Of course, they're going to do things differently.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, of course. Otherwise, lawsuits start flying about.
Hmm.
So like that's why like if you're a gamer, like most gamers just use Nvidia unless they're cheap or budget conscious, in which case they
Well,
go with AMD.
well, that and it's also for the simple fact that AMD just really hasn't been making high-end video cards. Like they kind of tried to with the Vega 56 and 64 and Radeon 7 and like those
Mhm.
could be considered high-end, but like for high-end stuff, Nvidia still smacks them up and down.
Yeah, and the thing with the AMD is like when in the processors, like it's only until the Ryzen stuff came out that like their processors were actually started taking as serious competitors to Intel.
Mhm.
Because
Well,
like before that, AMD processors were like just like their video cards, cheaper, good value for the money. But once you start to get to the Ryzen, is really when they started being serious contenders.
yeah, yeah. And then with the Ryzen 3rd gen, now they're like actually really good contenders.
Yeah, which makes me happy because Nvidia's kind of been, from what I've been told, what I've read is Nvidia's been stagnating the last few years, and they haven't really been innovating because they've had basically a monopoly on the CPU market, and now
Wait,
Nvidia's actually
are you talking about Nvidia or Intel?
Intel.
Okay, because you said Nvidia the last few times there.
Well, that's just me being stupid.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm just going off of like the very few things I've read. I reserve the right to be proven wrong and shown how much of a dumbass I am.
It happens. It happens. That'd be
Yeah, more often
crazy to
than
see
not.
an Nvidia CPU though.
Yeah, yeah. Ryzen is like honestly, I think for me the setup I want to do is like AMD CPU and then NVIDIA GPU.
Yeah, honestly, if I ever like if I end up building a new system at some point, like some point soon, I would say, then absolutely I'm going Ryzen 3rd gen.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's probably the best bet.
Okay, what
So
what were we talking about? Well, we were talking about the RTX stuff.
the ray tracing.
Yeah, so what I was going to say there before we went off on that tangent was like they've done side by side comparisons of like, you know, this is without RTX and this is with RTX. But the thing is, unless the original thing was like this bare bones has no lighting effects at all to it, you really can't tell a difference. Like when they try to go, oh, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Metro Exodus, it's like, okay, I understand the RTX is on, but the differences are minimal. Like I think with Metro Exodus, anyways, I was watching a bit of gameplay, comparing RTX on, RTX off, and the only actual difference I saw was this hole you have to climb down with a ladder. It was darker with RTX on. That's it.
Kind of reminds me of when Crash Insane Trilogy came out. They were doing like comparison shots of like the original Crash Bandicoot and then the remake. And if you look at the video, it's obvious they captured the footage using RF and not composite because basically, all right. So back during the PlayStation days, you had three options for video output in terms of quality of the signal. RF was the absolute worst. Composite is what most people use, and then you could also do S video. S video was, but there was component, but that really wasn't really a thing. S video was usually the best you could do. Um, Most people use composite. In fact, composite is still somewhat used today, but not really. Um,
Well,
and
no,
it's
it's just
like
HDMI.
what? Yeah,
Well,
HDMI. It rules the world. All hail HDMI. But like, and so like if you look at the footage and it's like it's very crappy footage, very blocky. I mean, anyone who lived in that day could obviously tell it was captured through RF. Because they wanted like the biggest comparison possible. I mean, I like the Crash Insane trilogy, but honestly, I feel like the original graphics still have a certain charm to them.
Yeah, understandable.
But what do I know? I'm just an old man yelling at a cloud.
No worries. It's fine. It's fine. I'll be that soon enough.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. What was next on the agenda? Let's get off that topic.
Well, actually, we've kind of run out of topics.
Oh, that's it for today?
Yeah, short episode. Kind of a slow news week. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
Oh, right. I didn't talk about my trip to GalaxyCon.
Oh, yes. I want the full report.
Okay. Well, I mean, in terms of full report, I guess there's not that much. Basically, I went to GalaxyCon last week in North Carolina with a buddy of mine. And, it was my first con at all. And apparently it's a big convention.
Popped your cherry.
Ew. And apparently it's a pretty big convention from what I was told. And, I loved it so much. There's so many cosplayers there. Of course, the first
You've gotten the bug. You've gotten the con bug. We've ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Anyways, so there's a lot of cosplayers there. And of course, the first thing my friend dragged me to do was they dragged me to the lower level, and that's where all the vendors were, right? So the people selling figures, selling their own art. Prints,
I can relate to that. I've done that myself.
Yeah, and apparently Tim Curry was there, and a bunch of other famous people.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, my heart melts for Tim Curry.
Yeah, but I didn't see any of them because the lines for the big ones were really freakishly big.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, but there's still the voice of.
So you're telling me the lines for the big ones were big?
Stupid big though.
Okay then.
Yeah, but let's see. Stuff like the voice of Donald Duck was there. That was really neat.
Oh.
Don't even. I know what you're trying to do. Don't you dare.
Don't move.
Nope.
I'll go get a towel.
Okay. But yeah, I got a bunch of stuff from there. The food there is stupid expensive, of course.
Well, yeah,
as you would expect. And it was not even remotely good food.
Yeah, it's usually the case.
Yeah, but I got a bunch of pictures of the cosplayers. And I met up with a buddy of yours, Nick. What's his name?
Oh, really?
Rob Anderson.
Oh, him! Oh, the person we may or may not be having on the podcast here within the next few weeks.
Well,
spoilers.
Yeah, in the works. We're talking about it.
Yes, it may or may not happen, but it's looking like it might.
Yeah.
Rob, you're awesome.
Yeah, love you, Rob. Heart.
So how was that interaction? What did you guys talk about?
Well, basically, I didn't tell him how I knew about him at first. I was just kind of letting him talk to me as an average person walking by and looking at his wares and stuff.
Oh, sneaky.
By the way, that guy is he's really chill, and the guy he was with too. The name escapes me off the top of my head, but he was also...
Yeah, I've been in some of Rob's live streams. He definitely does come across as a chill guy. Yeah, all the interactions I've had with him, he's just been really gracious, really nice. Oh, you really couldn't ask for a better person.
Joel Rodriguez, that was the guy's name.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that guy, but if he's with Rob, I'm sure he's a good guy.
Yeah, Rob's friend of ours.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that was really cool. I got a couple of the comics off them.
Oh, nice. Yeah, good.
We exchanged pleasantries. We talked, and eventually I talked about the Project Access stuff a bit. It was really fun.
Yeah. I appreciate you being a brand ambassador.
I'm more just a guy going to a convention. Now,
well, you never know. Sometime next year, I may drag you to a convention and sit you behind a table.
No.
Oh, come on. You be helping me sell comics. comics that you yourself help create. Like,
Yeah, that sounds fun eventually.
honestly, I kind of do want to take you to a convention because since you're a penciler, I could have you, do commissions. I mean, obviously, make some money for yourself.
That would be neat.
Yeah, I remember last time when I was at a convention, working a convention. The person I was with, he was a really good artist. He did a few commissions. He made like $30-$40 a pop off of them, just for doing a drawing for an hour. Good money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do wish though. I do wish in my time there though I had gone and seen more of the events they were doing, because they had a lot of stuff scheduled, and I wish I could attend most of it, but like I was on a tighter schedule.
Well, fortunately, since you live in Michigan, there's a lot of conventions you can go to. Actually, Grand Rapids Comic Con is coming up. I mean, that's kind of more in your area. There is Capital City Con. I've actually worked at one. That's a really good con. That's in Lansing. That's that's kind of coming up.
Yeah, I can see about
September,
those.
I think. What?
I said, yeah, I could see about those. And
yeah, like maybe we could go to some as a guest, or like when I go there to work, I'll drag you there, kicking and screaming.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But like,
yeah, play it by ear, of course.
Yeah, but every year I go down there to visit my friend anyways. So I'll probably end up going there next year as well, which that'll be
next year. Hopefully, you'll have comics to bring with you.
Yeah, right. Don't worry, we probably will. It's fine.
Yeah, maybe two issues if I can help it.
Oh, 2 issues. That's ambitious.
Yes, I'm nothing but.
Yeah, no worries. So, okay.
Yeah,
that was really all I wanted to say. Did we post up the pictures I took of the cosplayers on the page?
No, I was kind of waiting for you to send them in to me in a folder. But we should have them up by the end of this weekend.
Okay. Honestly, I could probably just upload them there myself.
Yeah, sure. You want to pull your weight? Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm kidding. He pulls more than his weight. He's actually really good at pulling.
Okay, yeah. First, I'll go ahead and put the links to the stuff in the chat right there.
Yeah, like as usual, like our Facebook page or Patreon, all that wonderful stuff. We thank you for joining us tonight.
Hold on. First, before we end it off, are we posting those cosplay pictures in Project Axis or Phoenix Press?
Probably Phoenix Press.
Yeah, Phoenix Press sounds better.
I can always just post a Phoenix Press post in Project Access. It's not a big deal.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll let you do your thing now.
Yeah, so thank you for attending, everybody. We really appreciate it. I'm sure Garrison has posted the links. By now he's really good for that. Thank you for coming. And remember, I can only show you the door. You're the one who has to walk through it. Bye-bye.
Bye.